Okay, then we will start the question and answer session. So today we are doing it here because of the power cut, and it's a good alternative. And I welcome all of you to Kalalgoda English Medium Retreat. So we have received several written questions, and we will start the session with written questions.
Number 1, I practice breathing meditation. After a while, my facial muscles start twitching. I then switch to concentrate on that, but in my mind, I know I need to get back to breathing meditation. I feel this new experience is hampering my concentration. What do I do now? With blessings to Bhante.
May I know who has written the question? You? So hampering in the sense, what's the issue?
See, in my mind, I think I need to be concentrating on breathing, and facial muscles start twitching all the time.
I mean, so far you didn't have this question?
It used to come and go,
right,
Bhante, but now it's more often.
Probably, and one thing is, I mean, do you already have fair amount of concentration?
I don't think so.
No, I mean, how is your mind? Is it constantly distracting or?
It's distracting.
Distracting?
To be honest.
I mean, say suppose during the other times, say when you are involved in some typical ordinary activities, is the mind calm or too much thinking?
In between.
So how about the walking meditation?
I prefer walking.
Walking. So how is there? I mean, how is the mind behaving there?
Fairly okay.
Fairly okay.
Fairly okay. My concentration is not big.
Not better. So that means you can recognize various element characteristics without any problem.
Yes.
Are you still using labeling, noting, or no?
Not
Just
really.
with the, I mean, simply with a quiet mind, you are doing it.
Yes.
Okay. So then probably, I mean, if you feel this problem is again and again coming, then probably you can change the object to the stomach. Yeah, rising and falling of the stomach, abdomen. That's also possible because Anapanasati, I mean, it's a good kammatthana, good meditation object. But if you have some complications like this, probably you can change to here, rising and falling, and see, because this is more comfortable, more calming.
I was using rising and falling long time back, but
Right.
then after I started coming here, only I switched to Anapanasati.
No, not necessary. It's not a must. Because I mean, they actually both kammatthana, rising and falling, and Anapanasati both behave very much similar, in the same pattern like. So
I will switch to.
you can switch. I mean, if you are more comfortable with that, and if it doesn't have any complications, no harm. You can go through rising and falling, and it will bring you more towards the Dhatu Manasikara, elements meditation. Yeah, Dhatu Manasikara, sorry, this rising and falling directly brings you there. So, because Anapanasati has both directions, like going towards the Samatha side and as well as in the Vipassana side, but this rising and falling more into the Vipassana. There is no some sort of Samatha like Jhana or anything coming through the rising and falling. It's directly putting you towards the Vipassana, to the elements meditation. Yeah, you can switch and see. Yeah.
Number 2, Theruvan Saranai Bhante. I have been meditating for a while now. When I am at home, I do about 6 hours of meditation, alternating between sittings and walkings. I noticed my mind has quietened down and I am able to watch thoughts as they arise and passes, Chittanupassana, and also Dhammanupassana as they arise and pass. I practice observing thoughts, Chittanupassana and Dhammanupassana, even when I am getting about my daily work. I have been able to observe impermanence and non-self to some extent. Can you please advise as to how I should proceed from here, or whether what I am doing is correct? Thank you, and blessings of the Noble Triple Gem.
May I know who has written that? Yeah. So, I mean, what is the main practice you are doing to come to this level?
But I do the Anapanasati,
Yeah.
calm my mind,
Right.
and then I get down to Vipassana.
Vipassana, I mean, are you observing various sensations available in the body?
Sensations,
Or, and
mostly-
again, the mind, no?
Mostly
Mind.
thoughts.
I
Mostly
know.
thoughts
So,
and Dhammanupassana.
what did you understood by watching thoughts?
that I'm able to be a little more objective. Grasping is less.
Right.
And there is detachment now. Earlier there wasn't. So
now are you able to experience some sort of gap between thoughts?
Yes.
Okay. How long is it very much like?
Not long.
Not long.
Just starting. But the mind is quiet enough for me to see the thought coming
and going. Okay. Fine. Just continue the same thing. So it will slowly grow. So you will understand more and more how thoughts behave, and more insights in the sense. So your insight may deepen. So you will understand the real nature of the thoughts. Then you won't grasp any of them. Now we are the ones feeding the thoughts. Now we are not feeding. So now they behave the way they really are. We are actually doing some sort of manipulation onto thoughts. So that is why they last for a long time, or they give more trouble to us. But when they come and simply we watch objectively and allow them to pass, then they will show their true nature. It will show us kind of an insight. It will grow insights in ourselves. Then more and more the thoughts become less destructive or less disturbing us. So then they will pass away, and then we will experience more relaxed, peaceful nature in the mind. So you will arrive there. Let it happen naturally. No need to push. Rather let it happen naturally. So you are doing the same thing. Just do the same thing. And walking, what are you doing while walking? Same thing, exactly. That's the thing. So now you don't need to really put to the sensations of the foot. Now you can, while walking, just watch the mind. How thoughts are coming and going, and simply analyzing thoughts. Analyzing in the sense, it is not that you are. You can recognize what are the real reasons for these thoughts to come. Then it will produce more kind of a wisdom. That's also good. And once you have more wisdom, then you further let go. So more wisdom means letting go. So then more relax. And again then less thoughts, and that gap may further improve, and you can relax in that relaxed absence of thoughts. You can continue. Yeah.
Most Venerable Swami Vahansa. Now I could observe the appearing and disappearing of bodily sensations in my feet. Once the foot gets touched by the floor, the sensations occur, and once the foot is in air, it disappears. This happens very fast, and I have to concentrate very much to observe the disappearance of the sensations. Further, the number of varied sensations I felt has got reduced, but I still feel them separately. Please kindly let me know any changes I have to incur in order to improve my
meditation.
Sakmana. Improve my Sakmana. Theruvan Sarana.
Right. So why this sensations reduce? I don't know. So may I know who has written it? You? So reducing.
I don't feel the number of things I used to have. Now I just feel the coolness and the roughness only.
Right.
I used to feel earlier like burying my feet when I was walking. It was reducing.
Now, I mean, very much like, say, but previously you were able to recognize so much of different L1 characteristics. Now they have reduced to only a few.
Yeah, but still I feel them. Separately, like not mixed up.
Typically what happens is now there are so many things available, and ultimately, I mean, so you can't distinguish which characteristics is there, so everything becomes very much like mixed and blurred, and you can't recognize exactly what it is, but kind of a sensation is there, some sensation, some kind of feeling, but you can't distinguish. But here the thing is, now you have still have the possibility to distinguish, and only limited to say few numbers.
Yeah. Easy to do it, not having much of a mindfulness.
That's what I was thinking. How is your sitting meditation?
I've started the Vipassana and I'm looking at, I've just begun because after Nissarana and Vipassana didn't work for me very much. And I came to a place where I'm blank, like now I could watch the mind, so Swami asked me to go ahead. Yes,
so I mean, are you experiencing blankness of the mind for a while now?
Yeah, I could stay and then again the thoughts come in.
How long like you can maintain? 5 minutes? 10 minutes?
Yeah.
5 minutes?
No, you mean
that gap? Yeah, that gap.
1 minute or so
1 minute.
and thoughts come, but now I recognize thought is there. I don't see that it's coming, but I know that it
It's
appeared.
there. Okay.
As soon as I just realize it, it goes back to the blank state, and I'm just at the beginning of the.
Probably, I mean, you can. I mean, before coming there, you were experiencing elements, right?
Yeah.
Little bit more, if you like, you can observe further some elements, because that will further improve the precision of the mind. Very much like the comprehension. So clear comprehension improves when you are clearly recognizing different sensations. So, and you can apply the same skill to the mind as well. So when you understand, okay, there are thoughts coming and going, another thought coming and going, another thought coming and going. So likewise, clearly you can observe the thing, because we need fair amount of clarity of the mind to recognize each and every thought. Then you understand, okay, they have the common nature, either sensations, either thoughts, or either say element characteristics, or either feelings. They show the same nature. So that same nature you can understand. So that is producing insight. So it is not necessary to restrict yourself to a particular region, particular area, but you can observe various phenomena. So if you feel that while going to Chittanupassana there are any kind of a trouble or not really trouble, maybe some not enough clarity, then you can go back to bodily sensations and observe them. Then you can prepare some more clarity in the mind. So while you are observing, the mind is clarifying. It is developing the necessary skill. That skill you can further use to observe the mind itself later.
My bodily sensations are reduced and it was like calm down.
Right.
Then I just felt the pain.
Observing the mind.
Pain a little bit sometimes.
Right.
Then I was at a place where nothing happened. Then I thought,
observing the mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you observing the mind in a relaxed mood or little bit of tensed mood?
I'm relaxed. I used to categorize them as Ola Rika Patisambhava. Then Swami was asking me to go to that, just watch. And now,
okay. Now, I mean, what do you feel? I mean, the number of thoughts getting lesser or increasing?
I think when I'm very mindful, I just don't get much thoughts. But I just, I'm not much, that's how I understand, but not very much, so I could manage it.
Then you can just continue and see. Just continue and see, because I mean, power cut. Continue and see, then because I mean, this is a good path. I mean, Chittanupassana is a very versatile path. You can try there. Only thing is, I mean, we should not carried away by the thoughts. So there we need to have enough clear comprehension, mindfulness, not to get carried away by the thoughts, because thoughts are really temptful, and so they are kind of deceiving nature might drag us towards various directions. So we should be vigilant always. Okay, this is just a thought, this is a lustful thought, this is an angry thought, this is jealousy thought. So likewise, we should be able to recognize them objectively. Then they won't bring us, they won't drive us to other directions, and we can simply stand by. We can simply distant observation, we can continue.
So we always have to put them into the way we have to name them, or we can
not necessary. I mean, naming you may later you will understand no need to name them. previously we can name, okay, this is a lustful thought, this is a jealousy thought, this is an angry thought, this is a blah blah blah, we can name. But later, either you name it or not, they simply pass away. Now you recognize how they come and stay for a while and then pass away. So that is the typical common characteristics of everything. So if you can understand that, no need to name even, no need to waste time or waste the fuel. Saving energy. And let them go, and you are more relaxed, and more they are going, and you are simply aware. So we are reaching very silent, natural awareness ultimately. So it is there, but we were wandering in outside because of ignorance. But when we develop more wisdom, then we mind our own business while being at home. So Buddha helps us to come back home. Don't wander. You can continue and see. I think you can manage things. Yeah. Okay.
Most Venerable Swami Vahansa, how does Shraddha influence the progress of one's meditation practice? Is there a big effect? Is less Shraddha means slow progress in meditation? How to develop one's Shraddha? Theruvan Saranai, Swami Vahansa.
Yeah, actually Saddha is, we can say commonly as twofold. First, we don't know much about the path. We simply have a kind of a trust, kind of belief of the Buddha and Buddha's teaching, and then we get on to the path and we start to practice ourselves. So as we continue, then we ourselves have to develop our own experiential knowledge. So with that experiential knowledge, we get a more convincing kind of Saddha. Now it is not depending on the simple belief. Rather, it is now more conviction. It's very sure to you now. So even if someone else say it is not, but you won't believe because now you have your own experiential knowledge. So that is the more conducive Saddha, firm Saddha that we can see. So more and more you have it, you are very much like well attuned. Say, you won't wander there. You won't go to another teacher or you go to another method or something like that because you are quite sure about your own practice. It's not that you are simply believing a teacher or simply believing a book or sermon. Rather, you now trust your own practice. That is, you are more firm. You are more confident, you are more consolidate on your own practice. So therefore till that you have to have some kind of Saddha. In the sense you are trusting the Buddha, trusting the teacher, maybe the teaching, maybe the other Sangha members. So likewise they give some kind of inspiration. And on the other hand, sometimes the results are not quickly happening. Even though we are putting some effort, still results are very slow. At that time also you need to have an amount of Saddha, otherwise you will give up. Because the practice is quite slow and it is happening naturally, and we have various our own defilements also hindering the process. So likewise on such situations we need to have an amount of Saddha, not to give up, just to continue the path, continue the practice. But when you are more confident about your own practice, that means fair amount of experiential knowledge is available, and now you are not simply believing the Buddha or Buddha's teaching, rather you know it is true. Therefore Saddha is really important, really necessary. And on the other hand, it gives you a lot of more warm and more soft kind of mind to the person. Because otherwise your mind becomes so rigid, more dry. So Saddha is necessary just to have that gratitude, very beautiful qualities actually. Buddha's teaching actually not merely go through the wisdom. Wisdom is kind of the crux, but at the same time there are a lot of other supporting qualities. Saddha is one thing. In order to have Saddha, you have a amount of, when you have Saddha, so you have a lot of gratitude towards the Buddha. So you appreciate his teaching. You appreciate his his work as a teacher, and the teaching, the Dhamma. and about the Sangha, the members who actually contributed. So likewise, there are a lot of other, say, very beautiful spiritual qualities that really help our success. It's not merely mindfulness and wisdom, but there are a lot of other supporting qualities. So saddha is something like that. So more you have saddha, more you are confident, and you even give up your life and put 100% to the practice. So that effort or that say dedication comes through saddha. So having saddha is therefore one thing. But on the other hand, we need to balance saddha with the wisdom as well. So if you only have saddha and say don't have much about wisdom, then it is going to another direction. So that is in a way detrimental, because your saddha is not yet very much like effective and not proven, like simply spending on the surface level, simply based on the kind of a superstitious maybe rituals, but you yourself haven't really experienced something. So that has to be balanced. So that is why saddha, even though at the beginning we are very much into the amulika saddha, what we call, it's not really based on the real facts, but later we are going to another level called akaravati saddha, where you are very much very factual. So you have your hands-on experience, you can verify that. So then it is not necessary for another one to encourage you, but you yourself know this is the path to do, this is what needs to be followed. You are quite sure about it. So that is why when someone becomes a Sotapanna, it is mentioned. So it is quite firm. Okay, what I am experiencing today is only available in Buddha's teaching. So you can't find it in another teacher, another, say, what you call a philosopher or teacher or anyone else. So you can't find such kind of an understanding from another teaching. So you are quite confident, okay, Buddha's teaching is quite true. Not merely through the belief, but you are experiencing it now. So that is why there is one verification Buddha mentioned, that one can verify whether you are really have come to that kind of an understanding. So that saddha therefore is quite important, has to balance with wisdom as well. Yeah. That's all.
That's all, Bhante, but there are some verbal questions there.
Yeah. Okay.
Part of my question was answered by the earlier release.
Right.
It's about my walking meditation, Bhante. Initially, when I started meditating, I didn't do walking meditation.
Right.
Since I started taking Bhante's Kamatahana, I started on walking meditation.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know when I'm progressing on it. I feel that my mind runs a lot.
Runs where?
It's not with what I see or what I hear or anything. It's things that thoughts coming in. Lots of thoughts coming in, and but simultaneously I feel the sensations on my foot also. The sand, the heel touching.
I mean, why are you observing sensations? Can't you simply watch thoughts? Because I know about your practice that I am questioning.
Yes, that's I think I'm doing wrong. Now it's right. I thought I should ask. So I don't need to concentrate.
Not necessary. Because now you have gone through, you already observe sensations and you develop a fair amount of comprehension, understanding, mindfulness, and then you are slowly getting onto Chittanupassana, understanding various thoughts, and you even have experienced absence of thoughts and not grasping anything. So you have come to that level, right? So when you are there, it's more and more relaxing, more and more. If you are again pushing yourself back to the sensation, just watch it. It's in a way detrimental to the practice. Because Buddha, if you consider the development of the Bojjhanga, the enlightenment factors, there are, and Buddha show it in twofold or two stages. The first stage is what mostly we know. Say that is clearly, being mindful, maintaining enough mindfulness. So while maintaining enough mindfulness, now you clearly try to recognize different information, say details. That is the Dhamma Vicaya. So in order to do that, you need fair amount of effort. Otherwise, you can't continue. So the effort is also needed. And once you are successful, you are having some amount of, say, pamudya or piti, the rapture. And that leads to passaddhi, tranquility, and then you have concentration. So this is how it is naturally growing. But once you reach the state of non-grasping, so that means, okay, mind has let go of all these things. So then Buddha gave a completely different recipe to develop bhajana. It is not that you are trying to again and again look at the breath or the sensation and try to figure out. Rather, Buddha says, viveka nisita, viraga nisita, nirodha nisita, nussaga parinamim, sati sambodhyangam bhave. So we typically miss this part. We are used to the previous teaching. We are always dealing with these conditioned phenomena, always investigating them. Actually, it's a kind of a, for the mind, it's a little stressful. Observing very clearly, recognizing them, observing their each and every arising, passing away, their behavior, little task is there. But once mind has accomplished that, and mind has simply let go of everything, now mind reaches to an area that's nothing to grasp. So while there, just be there. Less work. So yeah, wasting energy.
I know.
These days, no work.
I know. Today I was trying to I was thinking of my food as well as my thoughts as a comment. I was wondering.
Yeah, that's what the thoughts. Because when watching thoughts is more interesting. I don't know. For my experience is that going to sensations is I'm not actually in a way looking down the Kalanupasana. Definitely Kalanupasana is a very versatile ground, and while you are practicing Chittanupasana also you have to look at the body and see are there any, say, stress or the tensions available in the face or any other place in the body. So such kind of a verification time to time, very useful. But in general, watching the mind is more useful, more, say, developing more wisdom. So therefore, for you, I feel now continue observing thoughts.
Watching thoughts, so I don't want to watch thoughts. It comes and goes,
Definitely.
I'm not watching, but I know thoughts comes and lots of thoughts comes and goes. But
Right.
I'm trying to keep balance of
Keep
both.
thoughts.
No, balance both. But then Bhante, now I can't remember that sutta. It says tatta tatta vipassati.
Yes.
So what I
Tatta
think,
tatta vipassati what?
I can't remember the beginning of the.
No, I know.
Then
This
vipassati is
time,
I
like
thought
this.
everything that we have to vipassana, that is what
No,
my understanding was.
Paccupannanca yodhammam tatta tatta vipassati. So paccupannanca yodhammam means, then and there are
Yes.
conditioned phenomena arising. So then and there you have to observe.
So that is what I thought. Then and there my foot is touching, so I have to observe.
So at the same time your mind is observing. So two areas. So either you can observe the physical part or either you can observe the mental part. So if you are, now the point is, now you are continuously walking and continuously these sensations are available, and more and more you observe some amount of it's true that you understand their nature, but through observation you have reached that temporary release of the mind now. But you are not giving enough emphasis to that. You forget that, but you ignoring that result. Again, you coming back and try to observe the sensations. So when are you going to cultivate this non-grasping state? So that's the question. So we like to do something. So we are more into doing. So that is where we go wrong. So when we are coming to a stage where mind has nothing to grasp, so let it be. So let's observe that. Let's enjoy that. So that's more relaxing. And Buddha encouraged that. Buddha simply said, that's why at the very beginning I mentioned, so this is the second level of developing Bojjhanga, enlightenment factors. So it is, this is not something, I am not saying this is the Maggaphala or something, but at this level also we need to develop now. So again, if you are going to this level, ignoring the result, then we are not progressing in a way. So in order to progress, now we have to cultivate this awareness, simple emptiness, and just being in this state and allowing the mind to relax. So far mind was outside, mind was dealing with various other conditioned phenomena. Now slowly it has let go of that, understanding their true nature. It is not that we simply ignorantly coming here, no. It is not an ajnanupekha, it is not an ignorant kind of equanimity, but rather it has observed various phenomena and understood something. That's why it let go of everything and reach this state. And once we are there, just be, just enjoy. So definitely less work, no work, just be. There are people are always asking, but what am I going to do next? So that very question is a sankhara. That's what you need to understand. So we are going towards the sankhara samatha. Calming down mental formations. So when Buddha teaching us calming down mental formation, we are reaching some temporarily calming down of mental formations. While being there, if we ourselves produce more mental formations, then we are hindering the progress, we are disturbing the progress. Progress is very natural, don't you think? I mean, once you reach a certain stage, so it's a matter of just maintaining it. So very much like we are launching a rocket. Say during the launching of a rocket, you need during the launching time, huge amount of fuel, right? So it's bursting, sound and everything, tons of fuel being wasted, and it is to the rising it, break the momentum. And once it is going up, and once it reach the orbit, cross the orbit, done. Then some maintenance. So in terms of meditation also very similar. At the beginning we have a lot of hindrances. So we are very much like blocked and bound. So in order to break these all bonds, so we need enough energy, enough effort, lot of effort, and lot of observation of various phenomena. And through that observation, through that lot of effort, assume that you are able to get a temporary release. It's very much like reaching the orbit. Then just maintain there, don't come down. You are again coming down. So basically relaxing, just relaxing. The point is, and more subtle insights are there. While you are trying to maintain in that relaxed nature, don't think it is a waste of time. Or sometimes we have a kind of a perception, I have nothing to do. And previously I was doing something, I was meditating. Like that's the perception we have. I was meditating, but it's like not doing anything. Something, what can I going to do?
At the sitting meditation, that is what happens. Just being aware and just being.
That's all. So don't sit. So just prepare some food. No, thing is now it's more and more cognition. The kind of a cognitive development, not like the mental development, but rather you have to carefully recognize how the mind is working. What are the latent tendencies? How eye making happens. So these are more subtle, more interesting again. So you don't get enough chance, enough clarity to do that while you are dealing with these physical sensations. It's there. So now you simply let go of all that physical phenomena, and you are in a different level, observing the kind of very subtle tendencies available in the mind, and various thoughts happening in the mind, why these thoughts are happening, and maybe the conditioned nature, conditionality. So likewise, more advanced kind of knowledge is available there. No through thinking. We all have gone wrong through the education, through thinking that we get knowledge. So Buddha's teaching bring us to a level, no thinking, just be aware. Through this mere awareness, you are getting kind of a what you call the intuitive kind of knowledge. It's not coming through a book, but through your own experience. It's a kind of a human knowledge kind of development. More interesting. Actually, we were dealing with all these someone else's borrowed knowledge, tons of books, tons of knowledge. But now letting go of everything and just relaxing and seeing what's going on. So it's more advanced. So because thing is, we are more conditioned to a lot of knowledge. Knowledge in the sense, a lot of book knowledge, a lot of getting through the, say, libraries, listening and all sort of things. More information, more and more information. But when mind is more relaxed, empty. So this emptiness is not kind of a blunt kind of emptiness. It's a more rich kind of emptiness. So once you are there, it is, it's been supported by a lot of wisdom. Otherwise it go and grasp. So mind without wisdom go and grasp. But if it is with wisdom, no grasping. So you have to actually give a lot of emphasis. Actually, we have to again and again convince ourselves. I myself have done that. So it took a long time for me to convince myself just to enjoy the inner silence. It's a kind of enjoyable. Nothing is there. Just enjoy. Don't do anything. Yeah.
This emptiness, I wanted to. She asked me to write a question.
Right.
I didn't write because most of the time I get this emptiness, So I thought what to write and how can I write? But I am relaxed, No, I don't feel my body, even I don't feel my mind or anything. Especially when I sit outside and do meditation. At once I get this peace, everything at once I get that. So after some time, sometimes I get this back pain or something, but when it disappears, nothing is there. So I don't get anything, any thoughts or anything.
Now only thing is, now what you reach there also, Buddha say, don't be in a more kind of absorbed kind of an environment. Let it be more natural, just in the surface.
Otherwise, I am resting like that outside, sitting thing also. I like it.
Yeah.
So
we have kind of an attachment to that kind of emptiness as an absorption. So Buddha asks us to let go of that too even. You don't need to attach to that as a kind of a kind of a samadhi state. Rather just be in the surface. So there you are allowing the mind to wander as it like in a way. Very vulnerable.
Sometimes I don't get any thoughts.
Yeah, that's the point. If there are a lot of agitation available in the mind, frustration available in the mind, a lot of problems available in the mind, you can't maintain it. Very difficult. That's why we are closing our eyes and shut down everything, and it's a very artificial, no? In a typical, as a beginner, when you start, so you have all these troubles coming through, all the hindrances. So that's why we are coming to a very restricted environment. Otherwise, we can't prepare ourselves, develop ourselves. But once you come to a fair amount of development, then you are coming back to this vulnerable state and let it go and see how mind behaves. Now, assume if there are no lust, if there is no anger, there is no delusion, then mind should not go anywhere. So we are putting ourselves and see how it behaved. So that's why we should not restrict the mind's movement. Rather, we have to give enough freedom for it to freely move. Then we can understand, what are still this fellow is doing. It's a kind of allowing your child to behave freely, and you are distantly observing. Now it has some wisdom. As a mother, now you are maintaining kind of an equanimity. Let it behave and see. Let me understand his nature. Then only you can understand, he's still like this particular kind of work. He doesn't want to deal with these people. So these are the tendencies, kind of patterns we have. So you can't observe that unless you give enough freedom. So therefore, I don't recommend, when you are coming to this kind of an area, I don't recommend kind of a very restricted, scheduled kind of meditation. Rather, meditation has to be your life basically. So from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, it's meditation. You can't differentiate. When I am not meditating, there is no such thing. So while you are engaged with various other activities, you are always observing the mind. So that is the area more defilements would be available, because while you are meditating, no defilements definitely. You are more restricted, no? You are more prepared. But assume that you are talking with another person, then definitely there are possibility of arising defilements. Yeah. So
now whole day when I do work, it's like Vipassana. No,
true, true. That's right. So while dealing with others, say you are talking to others, say you are engaged with some other activities, you are going to the supermarket, or you are walking, going by a bus. So these are the real areas to really observe the mind. This is the battleground. So Kalalgoda is not the battleground. It's just a training camp. Sorry?
You want me to ask that?
If it's possible, even I can.
Bhavadhanna.
Yeah, you
Power
can. Yes,
time.
yes, yes.
You can explain Bhante. No, whether it is like if you think, not to be born in a Buddhist environment, is that Bhavadhanna? If you sort of think, if your Chutisita is going to be good, and then if you are born again, to be born in where Buddhism is really there, is that Bhavadhanna?
Buddhism, Bhavadhanna.
That's the thing I want to know whether.
No, Bhavadhanna is more subtle kind of a craving we have.
Yeah.
So by being motivated through Bhavadhanna, we are going after forms, going after Rupa Tanha, going after Saddha Tanha.
Exactly.
So likewise, so this is what more prominent, more visible.
Okay.
So I'm more lustful. I'm going after a girl. I'm going after a woman. So I mean, this is what more prominent.
Okay.
But internally, Bhavadhanna. Because at the moment I am not satisfied. At the moment I am not satisfied. If I get her, if I marry her, if I meet him, if I be with her, then I'll be happy. Then I mean, what the people see is now this fellow is going after that girl. But internally, I'm not satisfied at this moment. So it is being provoked through that unsatisfactoriness. So kind of frustration. So that is actually going towards a Bhavadhanna. So Bhavadhanna is always very much like we want to become someone, or we reject the present moment, not satisfied with the present moment, and we expecting, okay, I will be happy if I get this, if I get that, if I get that. So that's why Buddha mentioned uno loko. Always I am feeling sort of something missing, not complete. If I get rich, I'll be happy. If I marry her, I'll be happy. If I get fuel, diesel, I'll be happy. If I change the power, if I change the government, I'll be happy.
Yes, if you get power,
you get happy. So always yearning for something, exactly. But the Buddha help us. That's why I told Ilika. So when you reach that temporary release, state of temporary freedom, just be there.
Yeah, I know.
So while being there, if you are trying to expect another state, so we are promoting Bhavadhanna.
Yeah.
You have come to a very temporary release. So just be there, just enjoy that. So then you are not promoting Bhavadhanna. So actually, while being there, you can really observe how mind is tempting you. Always not satisfying with the present moment, always looking for something. I want this, I want that. So this kind of a trigger coming from the mind, you need to recognize.
Just another thing. I have neuropathy.
Neuropathy
I can't
means
feel anything when I walk. I don't feel anything. So
but you can observe the mind, no?
That is what I want to know.
Right. Yeah.
If I watch it like that,
correct,
without thinking about my feet at all,
sure,
it's okay.
Sure. Only thing is, I mean, you should have enough mindfulness already developed. I feel you have.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So then you can continue.
Yeah, because nothing, and I'm scared that I will get wounds or things like that, so I don't do
okay.
like only inside the house.
No problem. You can observe more and more the mind, how thoughts are coming and going.
Yes.
And it's a very, very rich field.
Yes,
very rich field for us to develop Vipassana.
Yes.
So more interesting also. And I mean, only point is, that's why Buddha mentioned, you need fair amount of clear comprehension, mindfulness in order to do it successfully. So that you can develop through Kayanupassana. But if one is able to somehow develop some amount of mindfulness and clear comprehension, then the true field, the very rich field is mind. No harm, no problem.
Much better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm doing Vipassana for a long time now.
Yeah.
And experience this blank.
Right.
So when I'm doing this Vipassana, I'm thinking that if I past also a thought, which also a thought. Even the person.
No.
So, yes. When
Thought has gone, no?
Yeah. No, I mean if I remember something, that's also a thought. So there's nothing to hold on. No.
Where am I?
Yeah, there's no place to go, no concrete place to stand.
Exactly.
Right? And even if I remember somebody, even that's a thought. It's not the outside person, it's only my thought.
Perception.
Perception.
That's why I mean,
And
we are
everything is, and what we believe, this is, all these things are.
Now you can understand how much we are extrovert.
Yeah.
I am holding him, I am holding her, I am holding that.
Even I remember
internally,
it's a thought, not a person.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, we are fools.
Relax. And when I watch it, that thought is passed away. I mean, what is it? What is this life you like me?
So that's what we need to ask. So that's what I mentioned. So till you observe external phenomena, you can't get this kind of a very powerful insight. So while you are simply observing yourself in a very relaxed mood, how this mind is trying to fool me, how it is deluding me. So what we consider as this him and that and all these things. So then we have a kind of a very, kind of a unbiased kind of a understanding. Okay, these are mind made, very much like.
This
so when
nothing external.
no, when there is ignorance, with the ignorance we we do a lot of formations, we do a lot of fabrications. With that we attribute it to the past, or attribute it to a person, external. And when we are having enough wisdom, so this external and internal, that difference, no more.
Bhante, it is about my own personal life experience right now. Married 44 years. My wife, I was a husband, very hard taskmaster, very strong personality. So I used to say yes madam, no madam, 3 bags full madam, that's madam. In the last 2 years, she went down with dementia.
I see.
Alzheimer's, because her father had, and so was hereditary also probably. It used to be very hard on me sometimes, like if I give one example, we had 2 bathrooms in the house, and I, of course, when I go out to the garden, I don't wash my feet. I just come and go to the bathroom. So the feet marks are there. So I can't be washing this anymore. You better go to the other bathroom. So I moved to the other bathroom. This bathroom is about 20 years ago, I used by the 2 children and the mother. So I used the other bathroom. And that's how
Outside one.
No, 2 years ago. So the other one I use, and I just went to that bedroom also.
Good.
Now she's so bad, she doesn't know what she is doing. Of course, she walks around. She has been fed and washed. Sometimes she has soiled herself with urine and fecal matter. Her sister was not married, so she's also there with 2 children. That they all didn't want to get married, saying that, Tata, can you see, what's the point in getting married? 35 and 34 years old to go there. They're not interested. And I do the washing most of the sometimes. I clean her up, wash her backside, my sister-in-law and children. Then I take the clothes, the vaccines and all that out, and I wash them with my hands, all the fecal matter and urine and all that. I have no ill will. I only have compassion. And I feel that what is in this is what is that.
Exactly.
What is so great about mine? Mine is can't be superior to the earth. It's also the same.
Yeah.
So I think all that is because I got this Devaduta in 2004. When I was in the office, I had a heart attack.
You had a heart?
Yes. And I was near the Ladies Hospital. My other colleagues took me to the hospital. I was in the ICU. And when my wife came, wanted to talk to me something, I was telling her something and my heart stopped. For almost 50 seconds it had stopped. I felt the first shock, electric shock that I was going to do. My body went up and came down. After that I wasn't aware. It was about 3:30 in the afternoon on Wednesday. Till almost 10 in the morning next morning I wasn't
conscious.
And I woke up and the first thing doctor said is that you frightened me, Mr. Rajpaksa, you frightened me so much. Your heart stopped. So
these days Rajapakshas are really frightening.
they are frightened about what they have done wrong. I feel that to me that frightenment itself is the Devaduta.
Right, yes.
So I was very happy, and of course for 2 weeks I was in the hospital. You are now, for the last nearly 20 years, I take medicine.
Yeah. Now, with your practice, are you able to maintain kind of a, say, the equanimity? Right. Yeah.
I have, and sometimes she gets angry when I'm washing her. She hits me. So we just smile. Sometimes she hits her sister. It's a reality. So we have only no ill will, no hard feelings towards her. We only have compassion for her. So my children also develop in that. I'm not saying that because of her, I feel sad for the life that she has, maybe her own karmic actions that she has done in the past that is coming to her. Maybe it's also ours in that we also must have been involved in some way or the other. But one thing I think the Dhamma has helped me. It's nothing but the Dhamma, the meditation that has helped me.
Definitely. No, actually that is why in a way Bhante Dhammajiva always used to highlight it's a kind of a preventative approach is the best thing. Because we are well prepared then. Because when things get worse, we are too late. But when things are better, when we are well to do, and we have enough courage, enough bodily power, if we practice, then we have that ability already developed. Then whenever the things are bad, we can achieve it without much trouble. We have enough resilience. We can quickly return back to our normal state of life. So it's very helpful, definitely. Very helpful. So back to your question. It's very interesting. So so that's why many things are kind of ignorant-based condition. So when we have a lot of, when the mind is ignorantly made kind of a thought, and we do a lot of fabrications, and then we attribute it to someone, somebody. He's there, I am here. So we have that measurements, the mana, the conceit, and a lot of say anger, many issues. But when we understand, okay, this is just a thought. This is a kind of a mana. This is kind of a measurement. I do kind of a comparison. So comparison is a thought. So it's more introvert.
I make that
exactly.
mana.
Yeah.
When you compare
I am comparing.
Yeah.
I prepare a self here, then I may attribute a self there, and then compare. So if we are able to let go that comparison, just keep the mind relaxed. Very difficult.
Sometimes I can realize that when the thought comes, the Vedana, Satuta, Dukkha, and it has gone, just passing away. But sometimes I can separate Satuta, Sanskara, Vedana, Sanskara. You can't, it's really going fast away. But for me, just this thing I can recognize Satuta නැති වෙනවා, දුක නැති වෙනවා. I thought this සිතුවිලි වල ඉපදීමම තමයි දුක ඉපදීම.
Exactly. Situally, whatever condition phenomena when they arise, there is a that is inherent suffering. So that's why Buddha mentioned sabbe sankhara dukkha. Whatever the conditioned phenomena, prone to suffering. So now what we can do is simply not grasp anything, understanding their conditioned nature, suffering nature. So we don't want to grasp them now. Now let them arouse. Let them arise and go. I am not bothered about it. I have a kind of equanimity towards them. Because no point of grasping, no point of claiming them as me or mine. Because they come and go, or to their own conditions, completely beyond my control, out of my scope. So let them happen. Let me, we can't say me, but just for the sake of understanding, let me mind my own business, in a way.
That all thoughts, they all comes because of our past experience. But our past experience makes the this sankalpa. මම එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් කරපු නැති දෙයක් වෙන කෙනෙක් එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් කරාම එයාට එක්කම දේ ගැන තියෙන වෙනස් සංකල්ප. මට තියෙන සංකල්පෙ නෙමෙයි. That's how they experience it.
Yeah.
Even my children, I thought that earlier I want them to do
what do you
things. Want? To do this, do that. Now I think can't make things to do.
Allow them to do what they like. It's okay to guide them.
Yeah.
But they have their own. As you said, we have some only limited control, limited approach. We can guide them, but we can't really restrict them in a way.
Yes. And it's much easier when they are far away from you. They are not in the vicinity.
But thing is, your mind also should not because they may be far away, but you are thinking about them always.
One thing we the four of us, we don't try to dig this to the past. What happened yesterday is over.
Gone.
We try and help whatever we can do for her with equanimity and compassion, kindness and love. And then proceed with everything.
Yeah. So if you have that kind of a relaxed mind, open attitude, receptive attitude, more comfortable. So rather than holding kind of past grudges and uncomfortable things and all the ideas and all these things, they are the ones really polluting the mind. So if we let go and simply have an open mind, we can tell that, but practically we need to do it.
That's what Buddha said in Bhaddeka Sutra, no?
Yeah. Discussing these things are really good, but practically we have to live to that. Very interesting.
We four of us will feel sad. That happened to their mother, her sister, and my wife. But then, what we can do, we do.
Yeah.
But beyond that, nothing.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that is where the upekha is important. So you understand the nature of the karma also. There is a significant influence coming through the karma. There are a lot of other conditions as well. Karma also has some influence, and we have to accept it. And actually, maintaining our own goodwill, maintaining our own stability of the mind, that's more important. Because this kind of a situation, the patient is always going down most of the time, while such that happens without I getting depressed. Otherwise I am in a trouble. I have to maintain my own welfare. Another area to look at. Yeah. Very good. So we had a good discussion today. I think for the discussion this is a good
more
place,
relaxed.
right? Not formal, right?
Yeah.
No?
Although there were only few questions, but the questions raised were very, very
interesting and more advanced and yes.
We'll one day now talk about meditation and the Dhamma practice and whatever I have gained. Now I see that, for example, I used to be very much attached to cricket.
Cricket,
to sit and watch for hours in the TV screen.
So it's quite natural then wife get
But she didn't bother, she allowed used to. But now I don't even, because I realized what's it after it's what I created in my mind. So I don't look at all, because if I see it, I just switch it off and go.
Yeah. No, by the way, I mean, continue your practice as well. If you are able to maintain the mind free from any holding, any grasping, that is much better. So continue your practice. So while you continue your practice, say experientially, if you are coming to an area where are no thoughts, no grasping at all of any of the other feelings, perceptions, and etc., then you are reaching more advanced state. That is more fruitful to your own practice and to the others, and you can bear, many other situations more confidently. So continue your practice as well. Yeah. Yep.
One said, so now when you get to that state of essentially no thoughts, then my question becomes, what do you do with yourself, or what do you do? Now I know that's the wrong question, but in the sense, do you walk, do you sit, do you stand, do you do something, do you do nothing? You can't spend the whole day doing nothing.
No, you are doing, no? So you are eating, you are sleeping, you are walking, you are meeting, you are teaching and all blah blah things. So that's what Buddha did.
Okay.
For 45 years. For 45 years just Buddha slept. No, he is the how much work he has done. So I am not telling that he didn't have any thought. He time to time, of course, there are thoughts, but he has the mastery of thought, thinking. So that is what Buddha encouraged. It is not complete absence of thought. It is kind of an extreme, but rather what Buddha mentioned is kind of mastering of thinking. When you understand there's a benefit of thinking, you can use that as a skill. But when it is not, no thinking.
Now when you are aware that you're sitting, or you're aware that you're walking, or you're aware that you're eating, or whatever that you're doing,
do you need thinking there?
I thought that awareness involves
awareness
thinking.
Is there, exactly. That's the point. Awareness is there, no thinking.
So you're aware, awareness is not a thought.
You ask from yourself.
I don't.
Can you be aware without a thought?
No.
You need a thought?
In the sense, the mind is working.
Yeah, mind is working. Do you think thoughts are an essential part of mind?
I thought that being aware was also a thought.
No. These are very interesting areas. You reflect yourself. You practice. These are the areas that we need to explore. You just go to that emptiness and just be and see. You can hear, you can look at, you can feel the smell, and all these things are there. No thought. Mind is still. Very interesting. That's why that is the area we need to really explore. Not just this typical observing feelings and sensations. That is also necessary. That is the foundation. But once you go beyond that, no thought, but the full awareness is there. Very interesting.
You don't give sort of value to illustrations, no? The illustrations in your consciousness, you don't give value to them, then there is no thoughts. No?
Yeah. So only other thing is, without thought, you can't have an unwholesome state of mind. So that's why Buddha mentioned. So if whenever you are maintaining kind of a nippapancha, non-proliferative state of mind, you are fully on the grounded in the pure wholesome state of mind. That is the real essence of Dhamma. So once you are there, you just be there. Very interesting. So that's why Buddha instruct to Bahir, ditte dittamattam bhavisati, sute sutamattam bhavisati, mute mutamattam bhavisati, vinyate vinyatamattam bhavisati. That's it. Not thinking. Very interesting. Just have a kind of a so direction to your practice towards that. That is the direction that we need to look for. Buddha is pointing out to a kind of that state, Nippapancha, freedom of proliferation. So a mind fully aware, not dead, not sleeping, fully aware, fully alert, but no thoughts. But when it is necessary to think, you can think as well as a skill. Say if you want to read a book, so your eyes are there, your inner skills are there, you are reading a book. Maybe thinking is involved. But say you are now done with it. You close the door, just keep the book away. Say, assume that you close your eyes, no thinking. You open your eyes, no thinking. Very interesting. You can understand where Buddha is. So while being there, he teaches Dhamma. Being no body, he teaches Dhamma. So that is the true kind of a faith that we develop as we are continuing our path. What a kind of a Dhamma he has taught.
Amazing.
That's a kind of a confidence we are developing. So where he is, he has gone beyond this conditioned world, conditionality, thinking and all proliferation, fabrication, all this bullshit. And now he is in a kind of a heaven, kind of a paradise. And while being there, he teaches us just reach there, just cross the ocean. Very interesting. Okay, 2:10. Yeah. Okay, today quite interesting Dhamma discussion and quite encouraging and quite inspiration is there. So actually Buddha's teaching is so powerful in that sense. It's taking us to the kind of something that we don't think even. Through thinking we can't reach there. Very much like. So thinking we get confused. You can't reach there through thinking. So Buddha help us to let go of thinking, understand the conditioned nature of thinking, and then have a kind of a awareness. So you can dwell in that awareness. So you don't need any kind of something to dwell there. It is there. So that's why Buddha sometimes say dwelling there, dwelling in emptiness. Sunyata viharana. So sometimes when another monk, say Venerable Ananda, asks from Buddha, Bhante, what were you doing? Mostly sunyata viharane man kale gata kara. I was dwelling in emptiness. So while dwelling in emptiness, can't he eat? Can't he walk? Can't he go to the village, collect food? Can't he preach? Interesting areas. Actually, these are really interesting areas to explore. Can't we talk while dwelling in emptiness?
You have to talk. You have to think and talk.
That's a thing. That is how we go. We tell. Say true. I agree with you. Some amount of thinking is there, but it is not kind of a gross thinking. No.
Yes.
Now say when you are using a language, are you just quickly open the book and read? Okay, what is the term to use? Then I talk. It's instantly coming. Do you need thinking? That much of thinking do you need? Instantaneous, impromptu. So that's why so the gross manifestation of consciousness is not necessary. Unbelievable. You can't think about it, just dwell about it. Dwell there, just be there, just enjoy. That's an interesting area. Okay, then we'll wind up here. So thank you very much for the participation, and we'll have the Dhamma sermon at 4 p.m. and that also will be here. Okay.
5:30 only the
5:30. Okay then.
Power, no power, it's here. 5:45. Power, no power, it's here.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's easy. Otherwise, we don't know when the power will
No, it's
go
coming.
over,
Yeah,
but
that's the thing.
tomorrow morning we will know the power
Schedule.
So
Right.
if the schedule is there, we can have it there. Otherwise,
We'll have it here.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll go according to the timetable.
Timetable. Okay. Okay. Thero and sunlight. So, how to